Hey, what's up? I got some more lore content for you guys. We've got patch 0.9.4 notes and some new card reveals to look at in this one, so I'm pretty excited. I've glanced through the patch and the new stuff, so I'm going to catch you all up in case you haven't seen the sweet content we're going to be getting at the end of the month. As always, all the links will be in the description below. With that, let's get into it. So we have card changes. This patch is already live and I have experienced some of the changes, and I'm so excited to go through these. So first we have Draven. Level up. I've struck twice with a spinning axe to I've struck with 2 total spinning axes. Draven now levels up when striking with 2 axes at the same time. This change focuses on making Draven's gameplay dream and level up more realizable and satisfying. So they're making it more consistent. Makes sense. I think Draven has needed a little bit of quality of life changes, so I'm glad to see that they gave it to him. Katarina. Now this is an insane one. We want to give Katarina a slight increase in versatility and usability while addressing a fundamental problem within her play pattern. Trying to use her early can be ineffective as her self-recall leaves you too far behind in the game. It's essentially like tempo suicide to play a 3-drop that just recalls back to your hand, because then you don't have the minion on the board or a reoccurring threat in the following turns, right? And turn 3 through 5 is really important in the mid game to have threats on the board and to be pushing for board control, because that's just how the game plays out most of the time. So what they did with Katarina is now on summon she gets a fleeting, which means the card will disappear at the end of the turn if unused, Blade's Edge, which is a 1 mana deal 1 to anything. This makes Katarina so much more flexible actually. So you can pass turn 1 and float 1 mana, do something on turn 2, and then on turn 3 you can play Katarina and then use Blade's Edge on something. If anything has lived with 1 HP or just has 1 HP inherently, you can just take it out, and it's a pretty good swing mechanic. So now we have Yasuo. His health went up from 3 to 4, and this is a huge difference. Yasuo hasn't quite had the durability needed to be able to fully utilize him as a build-around. For a champion all about dicing up opponents, his stat line made it difficult to confidently use him in combat, and this change should make Yasuo more consistently usable throughout games. This could not be any more exaggerated. It is so strong to just bump him from 3 to 4. Now he dodges Get Excited. Now he dodges Black Spear. And he can live through so many more encounters. It's so insane. I've been playing a Yasuo Katarina deck all day, and I only dropped 1 game with it, so it's extremely fun and it's extremely powerful. Yasuo's level up card also gains 1 HP for consistency, so that makes sense. Callista. I've seen 4 allies die to I've seen 3 allies die. Now, I saw this earlier as well, so people will play Callista and then the 2 mana spell that summons 3 1/1 wraiths that are ephemeral, and they die immediately after ending the turn or in combat, so she gets the level up, same turn if you play, Callista on 3 and you floated 2 mana the previous turn, so that's pretty cool. I think it's a good buff. I think Callista is still kind of like a meh card, so we'll see how that shakes out. Laurent Duelist, literally no one plays this card. I think putting him to 4 attack won't change too much. Vanguard Bannerman nerfed. So he used to give all allies 1/1 with allegiance. Now he gives other allies 1/1, so he doesn't give it to himself. He'll always be a 3/3. I didn't really see too many mono Demacia decks, but we're gonna be seeing him less. Blood for Blood. So I think this card got a new artwork because I have not seen this. From 3 to 2. Deal 1 to an allied follower. If it survives, create a copy of it in hand. Blood for Blood has been ineffective even in Battle Scars decks, and a cost reduction should help move it into a more usable state. Yeah, Battle Scars is the Vladimir themed deck, right? With all the little bloodlings that all have effects that when they take damage and survive, something happens. So this is really good for them. 2 mana spell, way better than 3 mana. Kato the Arm. I've also never seen this card. 5 mana he's a 5 mana 5/3. Now he's a 5/4. Aggressive Noxus decks often forego playing the more expensive Noxus units. That's true. It can be risky for an aggro deck to try and play single large units before combat later in the game, as opposed to just playing more cheap units or spells that can be used during or after combat. Okay, so they're trying to bump this guy up for aggro decks. Support, give my support ally 3, and overwhelm. That's a pretty good effect, actually. And on turn 5, ooh, this is really good damage going into a Darius turn, the turn after. Averrosion Trapper, 3 mana. He was a 2/2, now he's a 3/3. Yeti decks, not too good. We'll see if this helps. Starlight Seer, 2 mana, 2/3, so now he has premium stats. And if you're casting spells, the top ally of your deck is going to be beefy. I like him. I don't think that the spells in Freljord are flexible enough to warrant playing this guy, though. Usually they're very situational, and you need to use them in specific instances, so you can't just start casting spells like crazy, unless you stick them in like a Piltover deck or something. Let's see, 3 mana. So we got the ramp card going up by 1 HP, making it a little bit stickier. Pretty good. Shady Character. He was a 4 mana 1/1, and now he's a 4 mana 1/3. Pick a follower, transform me into an exact copy of it. I don't think the health really matters, right? Because you're going to transform him into a copy of something anyways. Too easy to disrupt with damage-based removal in response to the impersonate. Ah, I see. So, since this is a skill, you can react with a damaging spell. I see. That makes sense to give him more HP then. Respect. Frenzied Skitter nerf is now a 3/2, which makes him die to Mystic Shot, where he didn't before. Honestly, that's like the only big thing. And, you know, he can't defend against 2 attack creatures and live anymore. We got some cards on the watch list. We gotta be careful of Ezreal and Karma. They are too strong. I agree. And these are some clarity buffs. Yep, yeah. They all do the same thing. They just are now worded better. Shark Chariot also has some new changes. So Purify works on them. Run your Purifies, boys. Get those in your decks to counter ephemerals. Let's see. Iceborne Legacy works with it, though, so you can go Frosty Shark Chariot. Seems like a pretty fun deck idea. Expeditions, some stuff happened. Don't really care about expeditions. They changed some UIs. This looks really nice. I love it. Bug fixes, all good stuff. Alright, so now let's get into the card reveals. First we have Sejuani, and much like the Quinn video, we'll watch the video together, then I will go through the cards that I have pulled up on this tab, and we'll review them together.
Carved from the savage cold, you own what you take. Show them our teeth.
The enemy can challenge this unit, forcing it to block.
Trust nothing but your strength.
That animation is so sick. Love it. It really feels like you're in the heat of battle.
Wield your fury.
Alright, so that's pretty cool. I like how Sejuani's looking so far. So we have her down here. Give an enemy Frostbite and Vulnerable, so they'll have 0 attack, and you can challenge that unit with anything. When you've damaged the enemy Nexus in 5 different rounds, so this can activate while she's in deck. You can deal 5 damage in, or you can deal damage in 5 different rounds, and she'll level up in deck, and then you can play her already leveled up. So Sejuani, she also has Overwhelm innately. Give an enemy Frostbite Vulnerable. The first time I see you damage the enemy next each round, Frostbite all enemies. She is insane. As a standalone card, this seems extremely powerful. 6 mana, so the same as Hecarim Darius, with an absurdly powerful stat line. And an insanely good effect, too. The only problem I'm seeing is that she's not amazing in, like, Freljord decks. Like, the Freljord cards don't support her too well. So she's probably going to be, mixed in with other archetypes, maybe like an aggressive Noxus deck, maybe a Piltover deck, something like that is what I'm seeing. All right, we also got 4-mana burst spell, Fury of the North. Give an ally 4/4 this round. Insanely powerful, super swingy. It's like Mark of the Isles before its nerf, +1/+1, and a lot more mana. But that is just like an absurd amount of stats for the mana cost. 2 mana 3/1 with Barrier and Overwhelm. That's actually a pretty good stat line. Nice aggressive Freljord card. You have to take into consideration that this can get Omen Hawked as well, so it can be a 2 mana 4/2 with Overwhelm and Barrier, makes it even more threatening. 3 mana 3/2, round start, deal 1 to everything, so this includes your own board. She's going to be good in Battle Scars decks, so the Vladimir stuff. Stormclaw Ursine, we got Volibear's little brother over here. 5 mana 6/6, insane stats with Overwhelm. Other allies with 5+ power have Overwhelm as well. Ooh, Freljord Overwhelm decks are going to be extremely scary. Alright, so that's it for them. Let's go into Maokai.
I refuse to wilt.
Maokai is really jank, by the way.
Life feeds on death.
Saplings are ephemeral. That's important to note.
The Isles will bloom again. I am the forest. I cannot be broken.
Alright, let's review the Maokai cards. Maokai, the first time you play another ally each round, toss 2 and summon a sapling. So like it said in the video, toss means the bottom cards of your deck get obliterated as long as they're not champions. It will find the 2 most bottom cards that aren't champions, get rid of them completely, right? They don't go to the graveyard, they can't be resummoned, they are removed from play essentially. And you summon a sapling, which is a 2/1 with Challenger and Ephemeral. Pretty cool. Level up. When your units have died or your cards have been tossed 25 times this game, he levels up, which creates Mega Maokai. He has regeneration, so he heals at the end of each turn. When I level up, obliterate the enemy deck, leaving 4 non-champions. So I would consider this a soft win condition, right? For comparison's sake, let's take Fiora. She says when her level up condition is met and her final condition is met, you just win the game. That is a hard win condition. The game is over. So let's take a look back at Maokai. His effect says you leave the enemy deck with 4 cards left to play. So you don't win the game immediately, but you basically win the game if you pull this off, right? It's really hard for the enemy to come back and have a usable deck or strategy after only being left with 4 cards. Also important to note is that at the start of every round, Maokai summons a sapling, so he has infinite resources as long as he doesn't die. So you can out-resource your opponent and basically win the game in a more frustrating way than Fiora does. And I think that these Maokai decks, if they are good, are going to tilt the ever-living crap out of people. And I can't wait to play it. We also got, here's their saplings, 1 mana 2/1. And we got Sap Magic. So I believe this is Maokai's champion spell. 3 mana, toss 3, so obliterate the 3 bottom cards of your deck that are not champions, and heal all allies 3. Now I'm pretty sure this excludes the Nexus, so this is just talking about ally units. It's pretty good actually, pretty good. For more Maokai support, we got Thorny Toad, got 2 mana, 1/4. Pretty defensive stat line, really tanky card. Last Breath, so on death, toss 2 and heal your Nexus 2. A pretty good card. It looks like a deformed Scuttle Crab, by the way. It's like Scuttle Crab mixed with a tree. Alright, got Overgrown Snapvine, late game card. 7 mana, 4/3. When you summon a follower, kill it to summon an Overgrown Snapvine. This is absolutely insane with saplings. So you play, you have him, you have Maokai at the start of every turn. You summon a sapling, and Overgrown Snapvine will kill it and summon another 4/3. So if you just have them both on the board and the enemies can't remove them, you have constant 4/3 generators, right? Insane. Last card, we have Dead Bloom Wanderer. When I'm summoned, toss 3, and he has lifesteal. 3 mana, 3/2. This is probably the weakest one, and he will be played the least. I think that he's still going to be a 2 of at the very least, though, because he tosses, and that's really important for Maokai's win condition. So there we go. And on to the final one, we have Swain.
By my hand will Noxus rise. Show them their place. Their walls cannot protect them. I will break them. My favorite kind of soldier.
I love that card art. That's really good.
Witness the strength of Noxus. Victory awaits. Bleed on Noxus.
I'll be honest, I wasn't even watching the gameplay that much. I was so entranced by the music. That OST is insane. And that card reveal was just really good. And his animation's sick too, actually. It literally looks like and feels like you are planning a Noxus domination of the world. I love it. It gives me some like World of Warcraft vibes. Some of the best soundtrack in like gaming history. So I respect that a lot. Alright, so we got Swain. 5 mana, 3/6. Pretty okay stats. Fearsome. Nexus Strike, deal 3 to the enemy Nexus. When we've done 12 non-combat damage this game, he levels up. So, like Sejuani, this effect can be satisfied while he's in the deck, and he can come out already leveled up if you've done his level up condition prior to playing him. His leveled up form, 5 mana, 4/7. When we deal non-combat damage to the enemy Nexus, stun the strongest back row enemy. Nexus Strike, deal 3 to all enemies. He's like better Anivia. He has more damage than her, way cheaper than her. Not way, but he's cheaper than her. And he has a stun. And he's in a Noxus deck. He's just power crept Anivia. We already got power creep, boys. We in it. Ravenous Flock. 1 mana, fast spell. Deal 4 to a unit if it's damaged or stunned. Ooh, this is going to be good in Yasuo decks as well. So you can stun a battling unit and then deal 4 to it for, 4 mana. Pretty good combo, actually. 3 mana, deal 3 damage to an ally unit to deal 3 to anything. You know what, actually? I think it would be possible to play 3 Yas, maybe 2 Swain, and 1 Katarina. And then you have a Swain win condition on top of Yasuo controlling the game. That sounds like an immediate fun deck combo to try. Deal 3 to an ally unit to deal 3 to anything. Oh, okay. Wow. This can also hit the Nexus. Also good if used on Braum. Also good if used on some buffed up Battle Scars cards. I like it. A lot of interesting cards that come with Swain, to be honest. 2 mana, 2/3. Like I said earlier, this artwork is incredible. I love it. She's like biting the grenade pin and about to chuck one, probably. Let's see. Deal 1 to an ally unit to deal 2 to the enemy nexus. This is a Battle Scars card as well. Really good in Vladimir decks. 2 mana, 2/3 premium stat line, so no complaints there. 4 mana, 0/5. This is a tank, literally a city breaker. Round start, deal 1 to the enemy nexus. Oh, it's sort of like the catapult card from Hearthstone. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like a 1/4 that did the same thing, but it was 2 damage to a random thing. I like this better. This is really cool, actually, because this satisfies Swain's level up condition. And we got the Leviathan. This is a big boy. This is an army, like, frigate, you know? This is insane. Play, draw Swain. Oh. We have Search. We have Entreat on a card. That's a specific champion. This is better than Draven's biggest fan, by the way. This immediately puts a Swain in your hand. If one has already died and leveled up, you play this, you got another one already leveled up straight from your deck. So that adds a consistency factor to the game too. Although you will be playing Leviathan pretty later on because it is a 8 cost. It can help close out games, if nothing else. Round start, deal 1 to the enemy nexus 3 times. So this is more powerful than dealing 3 damage to it once because of Swain's level up condition. Again, you need to do it multiple times. So really cool effect, actually. We've done 12 non-combat damage this game. Actually, it doesn't matter. Scratch that. It doesn't matter if you're doing it once for 3 or, 3 times for 1 damage. It's okay. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Very cool. I'm really excited about the Swain stuff. I like Sejuani as well. Maokai seems like a fun deck to try, so it's gonna be exciting to play all these new cards. Again, there's more coming out. There's a couple more regions that need to be announced with more support, and there's a whole new region coming out with like 6 champions. So, whew, I cannot wait to see all the stuff we're gonna get in the next few weeks. And that's about it for the new stuff. Like and subscribe if you found this video informative or enjoyable. Let me know what region or new cards you're most excited for in the comments below, and stick around for more content and updates. I'll make sure to cover every single card coming out. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Laters.